I'm not going to put any ideas in your heads, but our next comedian has never been seen in the same time or place as Batman. Ladies and gentlemen, Travis Hedland!
You know, my parents realized at a very early age that I was not like their savings funds. See, eventually those mature and start to earn money. My mom was actually the first person that told me I was going to be a comedian someday. I was 14 years old at the time, and I absolutely loved stand-up. I was terrified because I was convinced that I had nothing important to say. So I told her this, and she pulled me aside, and she said, "Travis, someday you are going to get up on that stage, and even if the only thing you have to talk about is your first email address, you will make it funny, because you are a natural storyteller, and that is what you do." And I thought to myself, that's a really amazing thing for her to say, but I did not fucking believe it. So I spent the next 10 years trying to chase life experiences, trying to find things that I thought someday would make for amazing, entertaining comedy. And now here I am, 25 years old, with a wealth of experience under my belt. I don't need to brag, I have seen some shit. And finally, the time is right for me to get up here and tell you all about my first email address. The year was 2001. We were all just doing our best to get by in a post-Y2K world. And, hang on, some of you are skeptical. I can see, you don't quite understand where this is going. And that's fair. You just don't understand why this is such a significant moment for an 11-year-old boy. See, we take the internet for granted. Any one of you can pull out your cell phone right now and watch people fuck. It's true. But back in 2001, you needed to pay for an email subscription, use that email address to log in with your phone line, and then wait 2 to 3 minutes to buffer a still image of those same people fucking. It was ridiculous. So the day my mom told me that I was going to come home from school and she was going to help me register an account was like the day I got a passport to an entirely new world. I was useless at school. I was running around bragging to kids who didn't want to hear me speak, just, yeah, whatever, I'm a loser now. Tomorrow, I'm going to have email, bitch! All I was doing was thinking about what's my screen name going to be, because that's important. That's your chance to give the world a calling card and say, here I am, and this is what I stand for, which at the time was Batman and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Fine, it's still Batman and the Toronto Maple Leafs. But I remember going home, and I remember running off the bus and up the stairs and getting into the apartment and saying, "Mom, I'm ready to do my email. Let's do that now before something happens. Let's just get on that." And here's the thing. I grew up with cool parents. But no matter how cool your parents are, they will inevitably fuck up in a way that embarrasses you terribly and embarrasses them not at all. So my mom looks at me and says, "Oh, I set those up this afternoon." And this is where the acting experience came in handy, because on the outside I went, "Oh, I see." And on the inside I went, "Fuck!" Now I knew it was really important to handle this situation delicately. And she had given me an easy out. She had made all the email accounts together that day. There was multiple for me to build up to the only one that was important. So I started small. "Oh, so you made Mark's email address. What was that?" She goes, "Hitch the Maniac at AOL.com. So yep, I'm with you. His last name's Hitchcock. He's in a band called the Maniacs. All seems to make sense. Let's keep it moving. What's your screen name?" And she goes, "Sylphid I am at AOL.com. I was like, syphilis sounds artsy. It's you, I'm sure. Let's keep it moving. But this next one was important, and I knew I had to treat the moment delicately. So I turned like I was going to go back to my room, and as an afterthought went, "Oh, while we're on the subject, what did you happen to set my email account up as?" And the words that came out of her mouth didn't really, make sense. But I'll never forget them. In slow motion, I just heard, mega, super, cool, dude. And her mouth hung open for a second, so I waited, because clearly there's a fifth word coming that's going to tie all this together. And she said, at AOL. I lost my shit, and you can understand why. This is my calling card to the world, and you're forcing me to go with mega super cool dude at AOL.com? And she said, you didn't let me finish. I said, but I did, because you said at AOL.com, and I know email addresses, nothing comes after that. And she said, but I spelled cool with a K. Now, there's more to that part of the story. We argued, I cried, the email account did not change. But what's really important is what happened the next day. When I went back to school and had an entire class full of kids coming up to me saying, so tell us about this epic email address, fag. I'd really rather not. No, we want to know. You make big promises. You told us we're going to have some epic calling card for the world. Tell us what it is. And real meekly, I just said, mega super cool, dude. AOL.com. And they laughed their asses off, and I said, but wait, you didn't let me finish. We spelled cool with a K. And 2 weeks after that precise moment, I was homeschooled. Thank you very much.
Keep it going for Travis.